Are you focusing on your health and are confused because you're working hard and your scale isn't moving? Like they taught us, are you choosing colorful food groups but getting no gains? Do you really like that they incorporated the Pringle chip holder onto your bike but getting dehydrated while you work out? Well, then maybe this video is for you. Hi y'all, welcome back. I'm Sonia. Thank you to my daughter Elena for that lovely opening. I hope everybody is doing great. As a reminder, midweek videos are going to be for family, vlogs, signing, fun things, cooking. The weekends we're getting back to fitness right now and maybe some clothing hauls and stuff, more girly things, and not girly, just working out for everybody. We're getting back into working out. Maybe you took a little break. If you're not ready, maybe you're not in a good mental space, maybe you're just feeling a lot stressed out. Sorry if you can hear my dogs walking around in the garage with me. Today we're outside actually in my garage. My little home gym kind of transformed it just like a lot of people have. And I'm actually still looking for more things to buy for Craigslist and all kinds of other Facebook, everything to add to my gym. Anyways, back to what I was saying is you're not in a good mental space right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put just a number of where you can go just to get the healthy salad. Today I'm gonna bring you a healthy salad that I love and it's delicious. And you know, you're not thinking about is it healthy or not, it's just delicious. And two, we're gonna start getting back to getting into more fitness and maybe you taking a break. Maybe you've been like me, your husband's in hospitality, something else, you've been feeling the stress, like are they gonna really have a job next week? All those things that are going through your mind and feeling stressed out, and or maybe just something happened, you're watching this at a future date, maybe somebody in your house just, you know, got over cancer, had a heart attack. I know I've been there. I've had like 6 months where my daughter's had to a year that we've been just working in therapy, coming out of a lot of surgery. She's had multiple surgeries, so I've had to take off, you know, 6 months to a year at a time of just like not doing focused on me, but focusing on her. And there's so many people that think that, you know, I got out of it, it's so hard to get back in, and that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna try to get back in, and we're gonna do it slowly so that we can do it sustainably, and it's not just like all of a sudden, oh my God, now we're starving ourselves and working out 2 hours a day and everything else. We're gonna do it slowly and just getting back into our groove, okay? Today, so this is what we're gonna start with today. We are gonna start with, I use MyFitnessPal because it's easy. You can also use, there's like a million apps, but I'm just gonna show you on MyFitnessPal. You could even do it the old-fashioned way like I did in college or whatever, if you're tracking your macros or whatever, just on a pen and paper. Some people like to put it up on their fridge. It's like right in front of them, their goals for the day, and then just swipe it off, like a dry erase board or whatever. And maybe they track how much they're drinking. I like it on my phone. Let's be real, it's so with me. Okay, so we're gonna go into MyFitnessPal, but like I said, you could do it, you know, however you want. And this week, all I want you to do is start logging what you eat, and I'm gonna explain why next week. Don't change it yet. We're just gonna do what you were doing, okay? I mean, don't go crazy. If you've been going crazy, maybe dial it down just a drop, okay? But you're just gonna eat like you had been eating, and I'll explain why next week. So just log it. But we are going to, I'm gonna teach you today how to take some of your body measurements, because there's gonna be at some point in this process that you're gonna feel like frustrated, maybe like the scale isn't moving, but once you take your measurements, I guarantee there's gonna be some movement and it'll keep you motivated, okay? I'm going into MyFitnessPal today, and I'm just gonna bring this forward. Hopefully it will focus for you guys. I'm not sure if it will. Here is actually a notes section that most people don't know about. You could probably do this, there's like a million apps that track, you know, your measurements and everything else. I like to put it all in one app, makes it easy. We're gonna go into that section today and just hit it. Believe it or not, there's food notes and exercise notes. I'm gonna go into my exercise notes today. I'm gonna write down my measurements, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the screen because I know it's gonna be hard to see. But I'm also gonna put up our goals for the week, okay? So every week we're gonna try to do some goals and then maybe add on to those goals, okay? I know, you're like, what? Because we want to go slow to get back into it. We don't want to rip anything, want to pull anything, and the older you get, I'm mid-40s, as I have learned, thanks to ripping apart my Achilles, it's not the same when you're 40 as it is when you're 15. So when you're getting back into it, you really just need to be cognizant of what you're doing. Okay, sorry, that cut out a little. I thought I wasn't recording. Okay, so these are going to be our goals for the week, and hopefully you can adopt some of them to you. I feel like they're super easy. We all can do them, and then the point is we're going to add more and more things to track and getting more as we, you know, continue to get leaner and better in shape. I'm also going to go back into running harder. I'm a little disappointed that there's no there's no races this year. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little upset. I like competitions. That's what keeps me motivated. I'm a competitor, okay? So, the number one thing we're gonna do this week, number one, is logging all our food into MyFitnessPal. Everything you eat, okay? Even if you took a little bit off your kid's plate, or you walked in and you just grabbed one cracker, you're gonna write it down. Second goal is to increase how much that we are drinking this week. Now, depending on how much you sweat, there's all kinds of calculations. We'll get into it like in one video in itself, just how I figure out that in myself. But you need to have an idea of like how much you're, I mean, if you were only drinking 8 glasses times 8 ounces, that'd be 64 ounces. I guess if you're not doing anything, I'm not sure if I could even, I feel like that would never be enough for me. My goal is pretty hefty because I'm a huge sweater and I'm going back and training this week. So my goal is 150 ounces. I know to some people, that's actually not even my high. You wouldn't even believe how much I drink normally, okay? And believe it or not, I'm not peeing all the time. Then the third thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get back into moving. So I'm saying 30 minutes a day average of moderate activity for you. Okay, so if you've been just sitting on your couch, maybe that's like walking around your neighborhood, maybe that looks like gardening for you, but make sure you're doing at least 30 minutes. But if you'd already been gardening 30 minutes a day, then maybe you need to go out for a brisk walk for 30 minutes. It's an average. So let's say you had a really bad day and your kid needed a lot of help with homework or something, things got away from you, well then the next day you could just do an hour. It's really an average, so don't kill yourself. But it would be better if you did it, you know, more frequently. Well, I don't know about that. There's other studies that say other ways, but average 30 minutes a day, okay? Then sleeping 7 to 8 hours. No, and not excessively, because I know a lot of people have been sleeping excessively, and I'm not sure how good that is, and you don't want to sleep less than that. The next thing we're gonna do this week is positive self-talk. I feel like this is so important. I actually really never thought about it until my husband brought it up to me. Is we need to be more positive about ourselves, because then it just leads to us saying health, why am I doing this? Let's just, you know, we'll go back to eating unhealthy. Or, you know, I think a lot of women might do it based on what they look like and they feel like they're not getting better, you know, or they feel like they were just born this way, they can't change it. I feel like in this day and age, there's one thing you can change, and actually that probably is how healthy you are and what you physically look like to some extent. Granted, you can't change your gene pool, okay? So if you're naturally slender versus naturally muscular, you can't change that, but you can change a lot of things about yourself. The other thing we're gonna do is try to hit a fiber goal. We're not going to work on protein, carbs, or getting any into like our major macro and micronutrients this week. We're just gonna talk about fiber, because one of the healthy things that's really easy to track. If you're tracking your food on some kind of fitness app, whether it be Lose It, MyFitnessPal, there's like a million. You're actually writing out by hand the old-fashioned way. Just make sure, we're gonna go for 35 grams of fiber a day. I know some people think that's crazy, because I think MyFitnessPal and Lose It, it's only 25, but I would tell you if you talked to any gastroenterologist, they would say that's not enough. You need to be getting like at least 35 grams of fiber a day. And that's gonna help us feel full. The last thing we're gonna do, that I'm gonna do, is cut me off at a certain time, and I'm picking 7:30. So after 7:30, I'm not gonna eat anymore. I'm allowed to drink whatever I want, have my herbal teas, whatever. But I'm gonna try to cut myself off. If you're not a nighttime snacker, you don't feel like having popcorn while you're watching a movie late at night, then no problem. But I think to have a thing, a stopping point might be good. I'm like, not a huge intermittent fasting person. If that works for you, then sure. I mean, you want to stop earlier, wait later. I can't do that. I have hypoglycemia. That totally messes me up. So I'm just going to stop eating around 7:30. And I'll make sure that all those are hopefully up here while you're watching this. And I mean, you can change your own goals. I think the thing is to write them down, whether it be on paper, in your app, and constantly look at them and think, did I meet those goals? Or are we trying to get back to it? Okay. And just remember, if you're starting to go back to lifting, believe it or not, you're supposed to lift about 50% of what you did before. I know that's crazy. So, but you'll come back really fast. So just as a reminder, so no one gets hurt, like if you're benching 100, you should actually go back to 50 if you've only taken 6 to 8 weeks off. I know that's crazy. That is how fast our body can lose muscle. Okay, but you can also regain it. So if you were, running or whatever, we can regain quickly, but we need to start lower so we don't get hurt. Okay, we're gonna get into some measurements real quick. I want to show my mommy stomach. I've had 2 kids C-section. We can't see that, but I wanted to tie my shirt to show you. So you can see, you're going to try to find your natural waistline, which is the smallest point of your waist. Now, if you are one of these people that feels like you're cheating yourself, and maybe you're trying to like suck it in more every week to feel better, who cares? I mean, as long as you're progressing. But anyways, as my husband was like, I don't know whether to suck it in, blow it out, where it goes. I mean, they say to find your natural waistline in the smallest point. Now, if you can't and you feel like this is just too hard for you, you could take a measurement like right over your belly button so it'd be consistent every single time. I would say get your tape measure. I don't know if I want to show everybody how much mine is. I'll just show a measurement. We're not going to go in the middle. And I am going to write mine the right way if I don't need critiques, but right in the middle, like right at your natural waistline, okay? I actually have a small waist, and my shirt's always big, but I actually have a small waist. So you're gonna take a measurement. You don't wanna get it too tight, just right here. Then you're gonna take a measurement right across your chest, right around the top. If you're a woman and you're wearing a different jogging bar every time, I would say wear the same bra every time you take your measurement so it can look consistent, okay? Then you're gonna take your arm, try to figure out right at the top of your arm, like right at the biggest point. I would take one flexed and one relaxed. I can't really do it that well myself. I don't have a helper here today. But one flexed, one relaxed. You're gonna take it, your inner thighs at your toppest point. Okay, and here's the other thing. Make sure you do right and left, both of your biceps, both of your top of your thighs, and both of your calves at the biggest point. Why? Because they are probably different, and the more you train, the more one side might be dominant than the other, and that can lead to more injuries. So you actually probably want to track that to see, because you might not notice. I know because I ruptured my Achilles. One of my calves is significantly bigger than the other, and it also has messed up my quads. So I'm really working hard to try to level them out because it messes with my gait and my running, everything. So we are going to do waist, try to find the smallest area, chest, right across, left and right arm, left and right calf. I mean, you just want to get down in there and find the biggest part of your calf. You might want a friend or whoever else to help you with these measurements. And then you want to take at the top of biggest part of your thigh. And then, of course, look in the mirror. I can't really see because I'm on camera. The mirror's over here, but I tried it. It didn't really work right. Try to find the biggest part of your booty and then take it across. Get someone maybe to do it with you. If not, do it in your bathroom mirror and write down your measurements. And I know you think, why do this? But I'm telling you, next month, and put it in the same day. Pick a date that you're gonna do it. I wouldn't do it more than once a month because then you're not gonna see the results you need, or you won't be as motivated. So pick a date and do it. Mine's June 27th because that's when I'm filming this. I'd say maybe do it on the 1st. Normally I do it on the 1st, so maybe start July 1st and be like, this is the day we're starting. These are my measurements, and then every 1st of the month, it's easy to go back and find it. Let's say you're doing MyFitnessPal. If you're doing one of those measurement apps, I don't know if it really matters, but there are a ton of measurement apps. Just look in the app stores. Okay, so now we're gonna get in the kitchen today I'm just gonna show you a healthy salad that I love to make in the summertime. I'll list the recipe in the drop-down description box, as well as the calories and the macronutrients. Okay, let's get started on this healthy salad. We're gonna go ahead and take a half a cup of pecans, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And then we're gonna take 2 teaspoons of canola oil, toss them in a bowl, throw them on a cookie sheet, and then we're gonna place them in the oven at 350 for 5 minutes. And there you go, it's all ready 5 minutes later. These are gonna need to take a few minutes to cool off, and then they'll kind of harden with the sugar and the salt. So let them cool off while you're preparing the rest of your meal. Now you're gonna take some chicken breasts, already trimmed them up. They're all ready for my air fryer. And I'm gonna actually putting it on the roasting setting. I'm just putting a little bit of salt and pepper. You could add more seasoning if you'd like. Taking my sprayer, spraying inside my air fryer roasting pan, and I'm going to set my air fryer for 385. I'm gonna roast these on each side for about 4 to 5 minutes. It really depends on how thick your piece of chicken breast is. I mean, you could use also maybe pork tenderloin or anything else that you would like in the salad. I find that chicken is the best thing. I don't know, I love chicken. Who doesn't like chicken breast? So 4 to 5 minutes, and then we're gonna turn it over. Now we're gonna get started on our yummy salad dressing. It's probably my favorite part, which is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 2 tablespoons of either olive oil or canola oil. Olive oil is a little healthier, but I find that this one actually tastes better with canola oil. And then you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, and then we are going to shake it up. And you could store this in your refrigerator for quite a few days. Just every time you use it, you need to make sure that you shake it up again. I will put the list of ingredients in the description box. Just hit the little arrow, it'll pop down, and you can grab this recipe, and I'll also figure out the calories for you for 1 portion, which will be 4 ounces of chicken and 1 tablespoon of dressing, and 1/2 cup of apples. We'll get to that part in a second. And so it is just a rice wine vinegar that you can find at your grocery store. There's a lot of different brands. I just happened to pick up one that I saw there. We make this recipe all the time. I love making my own salad dressings. If you don't make your own salad dressings, you really need to give it a try. And I do make it sometimes with the olive oil because it's healthier. I actually made this recipe the night before, but when I looked at my video footage, I didn't like it. So originally I made it with some red romaine and some romaine. When I didn't like the footage I actually had to go to my garden, and those are just greens out of my garden. But you could use romaine, red romaine, or just any greens that you have. So actually all of these are from my garden. My garden recently has just we've had a lot of rain and it's just exploded. And I took I don't know, a few days off when my husband was under the weather from going to work at my garden. I'm like, oh my gosh, it just exploded out there. And yes, thank you guys all for all the well wishes while he was under. He's feeling much better. And so we're gonna take this apple and cut it up into small little chunks, just about, whatever you think that feels good for you to eat. Not too big, not too small. And I like the apple especially because it gives it just a fresh taste. You could also use a pear. Sometimes in the fall especially, I'll use pears, or I love using the red pears. They taste really good in this salad, especially if I'm going to use pork. A lot of times I go ahead and use a pear in this, but tonight I just used what I had in the fridge, and that's what we've been doing, trying to make less trips to the store, I'm sure, just like everybody else, and using what we can find. Sometimes I've been having things on my list, I get to the store and they no longer have it. So here you go. And this is a really fast salad to put together, especially thanks to my air fryer, or you could also grill your chicken, by the way. I just used my air fryer tonight and that night because it was just less time. I was going to tell you, I am actually, because I am starting to count my calories again, and especially my protein, I'm measuring out my chicken. And then I'm going to use only 1 tablespoon of my nuts. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it out. Sorry, I was trying to film this myself because I had no other help that night. So So if it looks a little like, it's moving. Anyways, then I'm going to just go take some of my greens, and then I'm going to go ahead and measure out my apple, and I just measured half a cup about. I probably could have used my scale, wasn't thinking. I was tired by the time I filmed this. About a half a cup of apples. And then I'm going to add in my salad dressing, and I'm going to measure out about a tablespoon for my salad dressing. If I was thinking at a time, I probably would have put it in a bigger bowl and actually dressed my salad, which means just tossed it all together. But I was lazy, just put it all together. And actually this night my son ate the salad and he said it was great. It was like his evening snack actually. Nothing like giving a teen boy some extra protein actually. He loves salad, so it turned out perfect nighttime snack for him after I was filming. So there you go. Well, I hope you guys try it, and I also hope that you try to start getting back on your health journey. Either that or just hang in there and let's try some new healthy recipes together. Next week, I'm going to be bringing you some healthy Trader Joe recipes. Everybody loves to go to Trader Joe's. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.